Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our live tarot session today on September 5th, 2024. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's so wonderful to be here with you all. Shout out to Gandhi. Much love, Ruby and Jeremy. Good to see you, Taz. Good to see you, Christy. D-Love, much love. Johnny Harmonic, good to see you. Kari, good to see you. Foundations, much love. All the love, Mother Rhea. Steve McQueen, good to see you, Steve McQueen. Beautiful. All right. So let's begin today by talking a bit about our astrology. So we're still in that beautiful energy of the moon in Libra. This is that fun, playful energy of wanting to be in community, of wanting to reflect on the group, of wanting to engage with others, of this deep ability to be able to perceive and understand the emotions of others, right? This is really going to be about connecting in flow and moving in harmony and being in that fun and that friendship. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. And we combine this with the profound energy of the sun in Virgo, right? And we have this ability right now to do such amazing things for our friends and our communities. We can listen and understand, and then we can put things into action, and we can move mountains and make things beautiful, right? We can work together in that beautiful, harmonious way. And this is such a profound moment. And take advantage of it. Be in that fun energy. Go out and be with your friends. Connect in this loving harmony. It's beautiful. All right. So when I was meditating this morning and I was thinking about what I wanted to call this episode today, and I was really just getting this idea and kept thinking upon the Muses. And I saw this amazing painting by Gustave Moreau, where the muse is whispering in the ear of this young man. And it just really hit me hard. And I was like, that's really the message for the day. It's this energy of learning to listen, right? Of we all want guidance and we all want to know what needs to be done. But often the universe will tell you, the world will tell you, you just have to be willing and receptive to accept the answers and be willing and receptive to be able to move in kind. You know, often part of the reason we can't hear the muse is because we don't like what the muse has to say, you know, or we don't want to do the things that it's directing us towards, you know, but often that's what we need to do to move past. It's an interesting conundrum, you know, and just a sense too that you have to take that time to be in the body, to be in the self, and to reflect, to be connected to that natural element, to be in nature and to be with yourself, where you can listen and be in flow and connect and reflect upon where you're going, you know, just beautiful energy. All right, so let's begin today with our Ganapati Oracle. Ganapati Ganesha is that divine child to come, the Lord of beginnings, guardian of the threshold, right? God of the bounty and just beautiful joy and abundance. What is the message, Ganapati? And ensure our words get heard by those who need to hear them. So today's message. The same message as yesterday, a repeat. Isn't that beautiful? Be in that joyful energy. Be in that joy, right? Dance and be merry, be happy, connect with others. And to be in joy is to share joy and to be it. You know, it's that combination: give, receive, express, embody. Profound energy, right? Smile and joy will dawn on you. All right. I love it. I love it so much. So let's begin our sortes today. For those of you unaware, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination through literature, and it comes to us from the Greco-Roman tradition. And we invoke those spirits, the goddesses of inspiration, the divine muses, and we ask them to guide our hands and to send a message through the text. And today we're going to check out Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose. So Muses, what is the inspiration from Umberto Eco? Send us a message. Inspire us today. All right. How do you know it was water? I don't know. I thought it was water. What else might it have been? That's a really interesting one. What else might it have been? For anyone who's studied chemistry or anyone who's a chemist, it could be very many things. There are plenty of odorless, clear liquids out there, right? Appearances can deceive, right? And where water is the most beautiful and needed sustenance, right? Something that we're so connected to and is so important to us, it could easily mislead us, that clear image, right? Without smell. It's just wild to think on. Appearances can be deceiving. How do you know something is what it is, right? Interesting. Let us go to Q by Luther Blissett. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Luther Blissett and Q? Inspire us this evening. It seems that the first argument introduced by the Englishman is the definition of the doctrine of justification. Wow. The doctrine of justification. When is an action justified in the name of God? How does one determine justice? Right? And then you're creating all these legalese and you're having two people argue minutia, the narcissism of small differences, right? One of the things that is a constant theme in that book, Q, is the infighting between the Catholics and the Protestants, and this narcissism of small difference, this infighting amongst power brokers, which appears to be about philosophy, but really that's just a little bit, that's just the excuse used to cause issues to exploit power, right? And what is the justification? How do you justify your actions in the name of God? What are you using? That whole idea, it seems really gross, does it not? All right, Ore by Gabriel Macari. Let us continue. Muses, what is the message from Ore? Inspire us this evening. Oh, wow. I got two amazing paintings here. On one, you have the sign of the Benedicto, and you have the three fingers up. On the other, you have a lingam being guarded by a three-headed snake, And this is the sign of the Trimurti and the symbol of Ananta. Beautiful. Interesting. That image of the three again. Wow. And the egg, right? The Orphic egg. When I look at that symbol of Ananta, I immediately see in it, the Orphic egg and the deep connection that the Indian and Greek traditions hold together, The Trimurti. Yes, indeed. All right. Let us go to the Voodoo Quantum Leap. All right. Muses, what is the message from the Voodoo Quantum Leap and Reginald Crosley? Inspire us. The second phase of sleep or REM state is characterized on an EEG by low voltage or amplitude, fast and desyncretized waves, and is associated with profound relaxation of the skeletal muscles, absent reflexes, abrupt changes in respiration, pupil diameter, blood pressure, pulse rate, muscle twitching, and penile erection. At this point, the double is in full control of the body and produces vivid, colorful, and uninhabited dreams. It is probably during that period that psychic events take place, such as premonitory visions, out-of-body travel, and other wave function paradoxes. Right. It's only in those 15 minutes, 20 minutes of REM sleep that we have the most profound, powerful, magical moments. Wow. All right. Let's go to Gurdjieff. Beelzebub's tales to his grandson. Okay. Muses. What is the message from Gurdjieff? Inspire us this evening. The definite sacred something would have remained for untold centuries in its pristine state among the three-brained beings who have already long ago no reverence in their essence, but as in the presence of these contemporaries, as it is possible to call them, unconscious sacrilegists, a criminal passion has arisen that evokes in them a need to despoil even the sanctuaries of beings of past generations. They dug down into this chamber, which ought to have been for them a profoundly revered sanctuary, and they committed that blasphemous deed whose result is now the cause of my becoming aware, with all my being, of my mistake, of just that mistake I made when I so confidently assured you that nothing whatever had reached the beings of the contemporary civilization from the beings of epochs long past, whereas the said contemporary Egyptian event is a consequence of one which reached them of the attainments of these ancient ancestors of theirs who used to exist on other continents. Wow. A lot going on there in this path. In this passage, you know, Beelzebub's tales to his grandson is kind of a really radical book. It's a new mythopoetic image, and it is purposefully playing within science fiction tropes and mythological tropes. It is a satire, but it is also contains all the knowledge you could possibly need, according to Gurdjieff. Right? It's very interesting, and the thing that I'm seeing here when we're reading this passage is this idea that the sacred, right? This idea of the sacred that should remain pristine. Often it does, but these things come in cycles too, and there is backlashes. And what we see is that which was sacred eventually becomes targeted by those that have an anti-sacred push. And they go out and they want to revoke it even from history. And they despoil the history of the past and rewrite it to change the story to make something else sacred. And this is something that we see all the time in history. History is constantly being rewritten and reimagined and utilized by various groups to tell their stories, right? Interesting. Let's continue. All right. Byron. Selected poetry and letters. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Byron? In general, he surprised men with the sword. His daughter had not sent before to advise of his arrival, so that no one stirred. On long he paused to reassure his eyes, in fact, much more astonished than delighted to find so much good company invited. Oh, this is interesting. In general, he surprised men with the sword. So in general, he confronted people in conflict. This makes me think of that Knight of Swords energy, right? And we saw that energy of this Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, right? This was the theme of the other day, and it was transformed by that energy of the Princess of Cups, right? And then look at the next line. His daughter had not sent before to advise of his arrival so that no one stirred, and long he paused to reassure his eyes. In fact, much more astonished than delighted to find so much good company invited. The daughter, even though this guy is a curmudgeon who exists in conflict, right? That child, that daughter, causes him to be in good company, ensures that he is engaged with and he is loved, to the point where he has to reassure himself and he finds himself as astonished, even more than delighted, right? Interesting. Wow. Connect to your loved ones, and they'll provide for you in ways you can't imagine. Connect you to the world in ways you can't imagine, you know? Beautiful. Marlo, Dr. Faustus. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Dr. Faustus? Inspire us this evening. Master Dr. Faustus, I have heard strange report of thy knowledge in the black art, how that none in my empire know the whole world can compare with thee for the rare effects of magic. They say that thou hast a familiar spirit by whom thou canst accomplish what thou list. This therefore is my request, that thou let me see some proof of thy skill, that mine eyes may be witness to confirm what ears have heard reported. And here I swear to thee by the honor of mine imperial crown, that whatever thou dost, thou shalt be no way prejudiced or endamaged. I just want to read Faust's reply. My gracious sovereign, though I must confess myself far inferior to the report men have published, and nothing answerable to the honor of your imperial majesty, yet for that love and duty binds me thereunto, I am content to do whatever so your majesty shall command me. Interesting. You know, there's a lot to be said here about this relationship. And there's a lot to be made about these Faustian plays and the nature of this magic, right? What is the true nature of the devil, of that Luciferian energy, of Lucifer? What does Lucifer do, right? Lucifer is that force that gives you what you want, right? They want to fulfill your dreams. They want to shine a light and provide you with fire, the knowledge to transform reality and to ascend to the stars, right? You only have to ask them. And what we're seeing here is that you're seeing a person who has ascended the throne and assumed that authority. And from that position of authority is asking Faust for what they want, right? The issue is always in what you ask for. If you ask the devil for something that is greed or something that is about just hurting another or taking advantage of another, you will destroy yourself. You know, to possess something, you can't possess anything, right? The devil will bend the universe to allow you to possess things for a moment, but then the universe will come back and smack you down, right? Always works that way. Interesting. Let's continue. We had one Faustus. Let us go to another. Faust by Goethe. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Goethe? Inspire us this evening. Help devil to cut short the agony. Whatever is to come, let quickly come. Now may her face come crashing down on me and drag her with me to the self-same doom. Wow. To the self-same doom. Cut short the agony and end it all. And what does the devil reply with? Ah, now it works again and seethes and glows. And go in, you precious fool, and comfort her. Be not of those who think the doomsday is at hand, dear sir, unless they see their path before their nose. Long live the lad who follows up his bent, and you have quite a gift for devilment. No object is in viler taste elsewhere than a poor devil stricken with despair. And again, what does the devil say? Well, you can imagine still a better way. You can imagine your way out of anything. And you can make amends. You do not have to drag yourself down into the fate of doom. Despair is what destroys you. You have the power of belief. You are the writer of the story. Rewrite the story. Reimagine. Beautiful. All right, let's continue. All right. Dante, the Divine Comedy. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Dante? Inspire us this evening. Eager now to look within and around the dense and verdant forest which tempered for our eyes the light of the new day. Without delay, I left the mountain's edge and went slowly over the plain on ground fragrant everywhere. Right? This is that pursuit of love and wisdom and knowledge is what drives us. Eager now to look within and around to gain knowledge. The dense and verdant forest which tempered for our eyes the light of the new day. He couldn't see the light through the trees, through that abundant growth, and had to pass through that woods to get to the light. Without delay, I left the mountain's edge and went slowly over the plain on ground fragrant everywhere. Fragrant with the smell of flowers, with that beautiful love of nature. Leaving the mountain's edge. We're seeing the inverse of that holy mountain journey, where the holy mountain journey is that journey of ascension up to the stars, right? To be placed with the Great Mother. We're seeing the climb down and the going into the woods, that embracing of the natural world, the looking and experiencing of growth and generation, right? Not the abandonment of the universe, but the express diving into that love and creation, into that generation, into those woods. All right, let's continue. Hermann Hesse, Narcissus and Goldman. Muse, guide my hand. What is the message from Hermann Hesse? The sun had gone down, cold came up from the water. The stone on which he sat felt cold. The street along the embankment had grown quiet. The stream foamed around the pillars of the bridge. The depths of the water were dark. No gold shimmered, blinked up anymore. Oh, he thought, if I fell over this wall and disappeared in the river, again the world was filled with death. Wow. It's like we're seeing the continuation of this image as you go down through the woods and you pass through the forest going after that light. What do you find but that stream, right? Foaming around the pillars of that bridge. You know, in the ancient Greek tradition, the bridge was always created and built by a pontifex. It was a huge deal. You couldn't simply cross a river. You had to ask the river's permission. You had to ensure you went from the right spot, you know? The depths of the water were dark. No gold shimmer blinked up anymore. It makes me think of that story of Addis, where he descends into the material, seeking after that shiny light, only to find himself bound in the waters and in the mud. Oh, he thought, if I fell over this wall and disappeared in the river, again the world was filled with death. Yes, death. If you disappear and you fall in the river, the world is death. But what is the death? It is the loss of the self and the ego as one is ripped apart into that flow of the river, which is that unfolding of the universe, the totality of creation. The loss of self exists, like the loss of the individual like it's gone, but you don't die, right? You are swept by the river. You become the river. Interesting. Let us continue. We're going to do one last sortes, Book of Thought. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Crowley this evening? Inspire us. It will be seen that every form of energy is a spiral. It will be seen that every form of energy forms a spiral. It will be seen that every form of energy forms a spiral. Who's that spiral? This was a big deal when I was diving into the study of Hecate. In the Greek understanding, Hecate is that spiral, that force, right? The one who spins. She's the top. That which attracts us, that sparkle that we pursue, that light in the dark. That which causes us to fall into creation, that erotic energy. Beautiful. All right. Lots to think on. Interesting. Well, we're now going to begin our tarot proper, but before I do, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference. It boosts everything in the algorithm, and I really would appreciate it. And if you are at all interested in a private reading, please reach out. You can find me on Snappy at snappydts@gmail.com, or you can message me on the Myth and Lore Discord. I'm Snappy or Lady Snappy. And we're using the Thoth deck of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. And I'm going to invoke that energy of Saturn Kronos. Ask them to dissect our life, to cut it up and put it on the plate, and to show us how to best move and flow, how to rise above the conflicts, and how to manifest our true will. While I was shuffling there, I had a card shoot out, and that is our center card. Work. Work. Doing what is necessary to transform your physical reality, right? Work is a profound energy. It's that energy of building, of doing what is necessary, of being in that force of action, right? Of taking responsibility, of building that tower, right? The energy before the foundation, the energy of struggle, right? To get yourself out of the dirt. Let's see where this is going. Where is that work leading us? Again, to another divine child. This time we are seeing the Princess of Swords, the divine childlike feminine energy, but in the energy of the swords. That pure intellect, pure reason. This is a child of reason. This is a new pursuit that will inspire incredible logical growth and understanding and wisdom gained. And it is going to come to us through this connection of work. But recognize that this is a child. And as a child, it must be taken and reared. The child demands responsibility and love and attention and affection. But if you can give them what they need, if you can be that responsible tending parent, the child can grow to become anything. They can become the queen or the knight, or maybe the emperor or empress, or greater still, the universe itself. Let's see. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. This child is a love child, right? This child is a product of the coming together of two forces in that alchemical marriage, right? Recognize that this is that greater love, that love of shared intimacy for the purposes of creation, right? Child creation, yes, but art creation, moving of things to coming in together in beauteous harmony for the purpose of creating something that's truly divine. That's what this child is. The product of two coming together and utilizing that reason, producing something of that wisdom and of that knowledge through that hard work. Wow. Interesting. Let's continue. What are we seeing here, though, connected to the work? We have the failure, right? Failure is difficult energy, but recognize that this is the 7. We are expanding off of the success of the 6, right? The 6 is the most balanced number in the deck. The deck at its most secure, at its most successful. So what we're seeing here is as we try to expand beyond our initial success and grow, we are falling short. Recognize we have the 4 and the 3, but the 3 is off balance, right? It's prepared to fall over. It's a failure to grow and expand. But that doesn't mean it necessarily has to stay in that energy. We have it connected to work. And the profound power of work is that ability to expand and transform this energy, to push this 7 into the 8 of prudence. Right? And prudence is beautiful energy. It is that energy of tending to the garden, of manifesting that tower and ensuring it continues to grow into the sky, of tending to the garden and eating of the fruit, right? So while this may appear as a struggle, and there's clearly a struggle, this is one that can be overcome through hard work. Let's continue. Yeah. Connected to that failure, we have the 6, as I was just discussing, that perfect balance, that success within this physical world. So this is all about trying to build upon what we've already won, trying to grow and continue to grow in a loving, rewarding way. And that's always difficult energy, to build upon your success. But what we're seeing here, the key to this is to be true to yourself, right? Hecate trivia, shining a light in the 3 worlds, right? Anytime I see this energy, I always think of that energy of Hecate helping Demeter find Persephone, right? This is that energy of selfless service, of doing what is right, of trusting in that moral compass, being true to oneself and one's duty and responsibility in the highest sense, absolute virtue, right? How do you overcome this failure? You must be true. You must be true, and you must pursue this from that virtuous point, right? Selfless service. Let's continue. This is beautiful. At the top, connected to our work and to the 7, this failure, the discs, we have completion. The 4 of Wands, right? The ending and the coming together of a cycle. So what we're seeing, right? This is the completion of the cycle of passion. This is finding your inspiration. This is finding the muse, finding love, right? It's no surprise we have the lovers and we have completion, This is, what do we do now with that inspiring energy? Where do we go from here? And this is why we're also struggling to expand, struggling to build upon our success. This is like we're sitting upon a plateau, and to move forward is going to require a lot of strength and creation and responsibility, right? A lot of hard work. Let's continue. Yeah. What we're seeing here is connected to this passion. We're also seeing the worry. The worry is similar to the 7, but it is the 7 reflected in a lower stage, right? It's the same kind of energy. It's this fear of expansion. It's a fear to move beyond the stability that you are known in your comfort zone, right? Trying to grow the tower is always a difficult thing, because each time you try to grow that energy and build upon it, you run the risk of it falling over, right? And what we're seeing here is this worry, this fear of expansion, right? Expansion also entails responsibility, right? It entails transformation and adaptation. How do we overcome this worry, right? You have this completion, you have this muse, you have this guided force. You know where you want to go, yet there's this worry in manifesting it. Let's see where this is going. Beautiful. Wow. The key to this energy and learning to overcome, and to overcome the failure, to overcome the worry, it's about trusting in the flow, connecting into that divine feminine, the moon, right? The moon, that intuitive card, right? Learning to be in that reflective mode, to be in that mode of weaving and going forward in that truly connected sphere. Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And it's also about doing that hard work of that inner reflection. You know, where's that worry coming from? It's coming from somewhere inside. You know, there's a fear here, and it's probably based upon past mistakes and past failures. You know, and the Great Mother is calling you to sit and reflect upon these with her, and to try to understand these wounds so that you can complete this cycle out. You know, because we seeing here all this success, all this love, all this potential, yet there's this worry and fear of expansion. Worry and fear of expansion. And it's that worry and fear of expansion within the physical that's that driving energy here. Interesting. All right, I'm going to flip the camera, but before I do, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference, and I would truly appreciate it. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, please reach out. You can find me at snappyddts@gmail.com, or you can message me on the Myth and Lore Discord. All right, so let's take a look here. And we'll start here at the top. Okay. What brings the success is going after this Princess of Swords, is pursuing this logical reason and taking the responsibility, you know, to engage with and manifest this child energy, to be in this co-creation with this other force, you know. How do you get over the worry? You embrace success. And you do what is necessary. You just push forward. You do the hard work. Wow. And it's about recognizing, you know, the princess is that, you know, that princesses are always the most refined of their element. You know, so we're seeing that pure logic and reason here. Embrace success. The success is here. The worry is manufactured. Wow. All right, when we come here, you found the muse. You know, there's this failure, there's this struggle, there's resistance. And what is the solution? More work. More work. You know, often I feel like what we're seeing here is that often when we find our inspiration, we find that thing that sustains us or connects us, that truly magical moment, then we expect some kind of radical change. You know, I found the thing. I'm connected. I've perceived the beautiful. Shouldn't there be some kind of grandiose change? Not how it works. Perception alone is not enough, right? Even wisdom alone is not enough. It requires active engagement, disciplined action, right? Think of the priestess. Think of that energy of creating the weave over time, of doing that hard, long work over generations to unfold one's will. right? Generations. You got to be in that mode of long-term planning and commitment. Do not let these struggles in the moment define you. Recognize the success that you are building upon. You found the muse. Keep building. Let's continue. Yeah, the love is here. The key to this, all about this love right now, it's about broadening it. It's about diving into the depths of the feminine. It's about making this intuitive connection and this deeper connection on that spiritual level, right? And about being true to oneself. So the message here is, how do we broaden this love and how do we truly expand on this loving connection? Through mutual trust and through mutual embrace and through that loving connection, but for that mutual trust and reflection to take place, to have that God energy, you must be true. That's the biggest thing with this love. There's all this potential here. This signifies that this can really become something profound, that there can be a truly deep, intimate connection. But it must be a virtuous one. You can't be showing up here greedy and self-centered. You have to be showing up open and willing, and with that reciprocity in mind, with that creativity in mind, right? With that feminine approach of mutual love and respect and reflection and of learning, right? This is that engagement. It's not that erotic engagement on the surface. Now this is that love under the surface, right? The connecting of souls and that deep intimacy. But for that to happen, you have to be true to the virtue. You have to be honest. You can't expect someone to let their guard down if you don't let your guard down. Interesting. Beautiful. All right. We're now going to do our crosses. So we'll start here. Yeah, again, to get past this worry, you just do the work and be true to your vision. You have the muse in sight. You know what you want. Be true to that vision and do the work that is necessary. Quit worrying so much and just keep trying. There will be bumps along the way. There will also be success along the way. Right? And look, the key to the success, we see it here. Disciplined action, but self-reflection. Right? That hard work will lead to success, but this work must be internalized. It must be that work where you're going in and you're looking in your soul and you're asking the goddess, how do I see this from that intuitive, connected way? How do I expand this energy? If you want that love and that success, it's about connecting to this feminine, and it's about embracing that intuition and about letting this love in and about really understanding. And this anxiety is coming from a place of trying to force one's will upon reality rather than moving with the cycles. If you move with the cycles, you'll see that love is here, this child is here, there's success here, this completion is here, but there's all this desire to expand and to grow so quickly, to manifest through work in the physical world right now. And we're not doing that reflective work. We're not taking the time to think about love in that more intimate way. It's interesting. Wow. Again, the energy here is energy we've been seeing for a while. It's about doing the work, about taking responsibility, about coming together in mutual love and connection, right? And ensuring that this connection is a true, reflective one, where there's a deep sharing of the most intimate thoughts and emotions and connections in a free, giving way, one that is open and honest, right? And if you can have that, you complete the cycle out and you will manifest that success. Recognize that these failures in the moment here are all about failures of expansion, about pushing too hard and trying to manifest it yesterday. If you go in the flow, if you connect to this feminine, if you pursue love, the success will come when it's ready and when it is determined. And these failures and these worries will be far less, you know? The key here, again, take responsibility, do the work that is necessary, continue on the path, be true and honest, be open and receptive, and pursue love. That is the message. All right, everyone. I hope that resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. Okay, let's do one final sortes, and then we'll call it an evening. We're going to go back to Ore. All right, Muses, what is the message? What is the final words to leave our audience with tonight? Beware of the fool's gold. In the earth there's left, where myrrh was at once cleft. For the sword hath stricken the fisher now a channel to venture into and get lost. Get lost. Wow. Beware of the fool's gold. In the earth there left, where mirth was once cleft. For the sword hath stricken the fisher now a channel to venture into and get lost. Get lost. Sometimes that pursuit of greed is nothing but folly. What you think is gold is nothing more than the foolhardy. And as you go into that fissure, all you find is a dark chasm to get lost in. And you leave the world behind as you dig deeper in pursuit of what? Something the rest of the world doesn't even value. Right? Think about it. Interesting. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for our live tarot and sorte session. And I hope I will see you again tomorrow for another one. Peace and love, everyone. And take care.